Hi, everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Anna here at People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, 63 Washington Street, if you want to join us. This is the midweek yoga reset, or the reset for the week, by a beautiful practice of yoga with me. And today we have a special guest, and Sandy, take it away.
Yes, we do. We have a special guest with us who is our resident nurse at Irie Bliss Wellness and at People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. And in honor of what Jody's going to be talking about, I decided to shoot today's show in front of my ginormous homegrown cannabis plants that you can see in the background. If only you could smell them, guys. I wish we had technology because I get to sniff all of these yummy terpenes today while I do my practice. My son is homesick today. So, once again, thank you, Anna, for showing up and holding down the fort while I tend to my children and also myself, because self care is also paramount. On one of these last days of summer, I feel so blessed that I actually get to do this outside in my yard. It actually kind of worked out amazingly, other than the fact that my kid is in pain. So, sorry about that for my little boy. But other than that, we just wanted to let you know that the Integrated Recovery Practices Group is up and running. And this Friday, we have an awesome guest. Kathleen Parker is going to be coming down, and she's an herbalist, and she is going to help us with smoking cessation. So whether you are kind of over consuming cannabis because it's just become kind of habit and you don't even know why you're smoking half the time, or whether you have a nicotine cigarette addiction, we are going to be covering at least 15 different other types of herbs that you can smoke that actually do not get you high, but actually have some health benefits. So I'm really looking forward to this. We have 5 magical blends that we're going to be presenting to the congregation. And this is also going to be a bit of R&D for me for Irie, because I am looking to then mix these blends in with hemp, which of course I have a hemp license. And so we're hoping to do some one-to-ones so we can actually work on cleaning out our lungs. We would have the anti-inflammatory benefits of the CBD, and we would just help each other feel better without the man's chemicals. So that's going to be our mission for this Friday, is to help our brothers and sisters who are really looking to kick the habit. So we just got that event up on pcsam.org. We ask that you do RSVP so we know how many of the pre-rolls to bring to sample. We will be sharing them in a circle. So come on, come all. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff to smoke because I'm Sandy and there's always plenty of stuff to smoke in my world, as you all know. So Jody is here today to tell us a little bit more about Green Network Providers, which is the nonprofit that we both sit on the board of and have for years now. And traditionally, we have basically been providing cannabis education and medical cannabis cards so that we can teach people about their rights to grow these beautiful plants at their own home. But Jody is going to tell us a little bit more today about the other offerings that are very exciting that the nonprofit is now offering. So, Jody, you want to take that away?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandy. And, we know that it takes community to, for health and well-being. And Green Network Provider is comprised of a community of wellness people. I'm a nurse. We also have 2 other nurses. And as Sandy was saying, we do certified patients for medical marijuana in the state of Massachusetts. But there's other services that we also provide. Besides that, I'm a Reiki master. I do Reiki and energy work. There's high-level wellness coaching available, as well as business services. But we are elevating our services. And as you were talking about this Friday, you're having this the herbalists come in to help with cessation of smoking and coming off of smoking things. Well, we also offer medication management services. That's one of our newest services. It's to help patients that are on a polypharmacy of products to help work with their ordering providers, as well as using plant medicine, all sorts of plant medicine, and helping balance it out and offer those services. As well as, besides the plant medicine consultations, also ketamine discovery calls. We're going to start ketamine treatments in the future. So I'm looking forward to these different services. You can look for updates at greennetworkproviders.com. We are updating that website daily, it seems. But along with the services that we provide here, the community services like Anna's yoga, I mean, we all come together, in this community.
It is. It's beautiful.
Wellness.
It is. It's beautiful. We bring in so many gifts. Like there's, so many different practitioners that come together here, and you're part of the group too. So we all bring in our special gifts to provide holistic services for our community, and that's the beauty of this place, community, and space. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, seeing the website and everything.
Yes, and thank you to Sandy and PCS&M here, and just being able to be here. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, ladies, for the service.
And your son to hurry up to wellness. Right? And I can't
I'm trying to get him to eat some local honey, but he's not listening to his mama, so I'm gonna have to sneak it in.
Have him sit outside by the plants. I know he's not smoking it, but just it's not all about the smoking. It's being surrounded by Mother Earth and what she provides for us.
It is a beautiful day, so vitamin D
get some sunlight,
today.
Ground himself.
Get your vitamin D as much as you can.
That's a very good point. I will get him out here, kick the soccer ball around a little bit. Can't hurt to get him moving for sure. I'll do that right after this. Good advice, ladies. I think, as we talk about taking care of our children, we are shifting into this new school year. We're on week 3. It already feels like month 3. Because God knows I had to kind of, shift my way back into society after the ceremony that I had up in Maine. And boy, is the hustle and bustle real. The struggle is real. So self-care is what this show is all about, right, Anna? I mean, just taking this moment in the middle of the week to reset, to pause, recalibrate, realign ourselves with what our mission is. Like every day I ask my kids, what was your favorite part of today? And what do you want to see happen tomorrow? What is your mission? You know what I mean? So the mission right now for the next 45 minutes is to devote our time and energy into taking care of mamas and daddies and caregivers and all those people that are sacrificing every single day to make our crazy households run, right? Because it ain't easy in this society right now. There's a lot of demands placed upon us. And again, I just want to thank you, Anna, for leading us in this practice to take this moment to appreciate each other and express gratitude for the bodies that keep us going and keep our families shaking and moving. So let's move our bodies. I love you.
Definitely. So, I have to say that moving the body is so important. With this shift into fall and the busy schedule, I think that it's easy to let go of our practice. I think that doing small things, even in the day, this kind of practice is wonderful to have, and it's recorded so you can access it at any time. And the importance of self-care is really coming to the forefront for me because, sending the kids to school, preparing and everything, and then there's the shift of them adjusting. And I think one of the things I wanted to touch on was, I have a young guy, a little boy, and I think that as parents, I know that speaking for myself, we get pulled into figuring out our schedules, the hustle bustle, getting them to from. The birthdays are starting again, extracurricular activities are coming in, and the calendars are blowing up. Yeah, and then we forget, at least for me again, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think that a lot of people can relate, a lot of parents can relate that because we're so engrossed in keeping the household going and keeping food in the fridge and feeding them and doing all that we do, we forget that they're also experiencing a shift. So I wanted to bring awareness to how we transfer our energy to our loved ones, whether we have kids or not, those around us, even our friends. We forget to put ourselves in their shoes. And I think that, we can forget to be compassionate. We can forget to empathize, with our kids, and I have to say that I think that sometimes because we're under so much pressure, it's also really easy to flip our lids. So, and and if we do, that's okay. I think sometimes as parents we also live with a lot of guilt, and that can weigh heavy sometimes, and you know I'm here to remind you that we're all doing our best. Like, we are bringing up these kids, whether they're young or older, in this tough world. And thankfully, that's why we have like these places, where we can come in and do some yoga, move the body, move these shifts out of our bodies, because that's where the compassion comes in. This is where the reminder that they're also experiencing shifts too, and how, if we don't regulate ourselves, we don't regulate our energy and our physical body, how can we help them regulate, right? Our immune systems start to shift too. They're starting to bring diseases home, or colds, and anyway, I can go on and on and on. But I think when it comes into the bottom line is that yoga is a practice that we can always come to help regulate our nervous systems and help regulate our energy, balance our energy. Talk about Reiki. Reiki comes super into play. I personally, right now, I think I'm going to go back to Reiki twice a month so that I can help in addition to regulate my own energy. Because Reiki, if you've never tried Reiki, I highly recommend it. It's such a relaxing technique, and it lasts for days. Like, you feel good for days after. Yeah. And it's different for everybody, but that's another self-care practice that we can bring in too. So I'm full of Reiki, and I want to project it out, and so I'm going to project it out in this practice. I hope you feel the energy and the love that comes from me to you, and I'm so happy to get us moving, and let's begin to breathe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to step off Anna's mat. Take it away.
Thank you.
I'll make sure that the
All right. Wherever you are, whether you are sitting on a bed, sitting in a chair, sitting on a mat, on your couch, let's begin to sit up nice and tall, bring ourselves into our own space so that we can come home to our hearts and to our breath and begin to bridge both so that we can feel better in our physical bodies, our energetic bodies, our emotional bodies. And when I speak of all of these different things, I also speak about practicing this myself, because I also need this. So this practice becomes even more, highlighted in our self-care. So it's really begin to feel the breath come in through the nose, relaxing the hands on the lap, just really regulating our systems, and bringing the awareness to the entire spine as it lengthens from the base, from the earth, base of the spine, all the way up through the crown and beyond. As we lengthen through the breath, we create more space to breathe, more space between our bones, to relieve any tension. As you lengthen through the spine, through the breath, on the exhale, soften the shoulders but stay long in the spine. If you notice your chin is up, bring it down parallel to the floor, slightly tucking in so you keep the neck and the spine aligned. I'm going to invite you to set an intention for our time together, and while we are together, to set an intention for today, for this practice, or if you have already tapped into an intention at the beginning of the week, maybe coming back to that intention. Allowing this practice to bring you support and to carry you through whatever comes your way. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. Slow exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats. And fluttering our eyes open. All right, let's begin. Let's come into a tabletop. And let's begin with our spine. So let's warm up, and then we're going to ease into a child's pose after a few breaths here. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Let's drop the belly, tilt the tail, tilt the gaze into the sky. And on the exhale, round in, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, really press the mat away. Inhale, allow the belly to drop, easing up, tilting the tail, exhale, round it. Let's do a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling with your movement. And then gently come back to your neutral table. And let's take a wide-legged child's pose. Let's give ourselves that moment here where we can bring our hips back, allowing the hips to reach for the heels, allow the toes to touch, and begin to descend down towards the mat, resting the forehead, extending the arms, and take a breath here, or two or three. I'm going on my third breath. Really filling the belly and allowing it to expand and exhaling all out. Relaxing the hips. Bring the awareness to the palms. Gently pull the mat towards you, just like you're suctioned into the mat without literally pulling, but you're bringing that movement of pull without moving the hands as you shift the hips back towards the heels. And then gently lift the forehead, or if you're having any issues bringing the forehead all the way down, you can support the forehead with a block, or a pillow, like I said in previous episodes, supporting yourself with a pillow or a block. So let's bring that right hand, slide it in and under that left arm, and drop yourself down. We're going to open up the back of the shoulder and allow your head to rest. Again, you can use a block to even rest the head and get into the shoulder. Or a pillow. Notice as you have your left arm extended, if you crawl your hand forward and bring your hips back towards the heels, just notice how that affects the shoulder. Being gentle with any micro movement, especially if you have tight shoulders. Let's gently walk that left hand back. Inhale, that right arm, come back to your child's pose. A nice deep breath here. And on the exhale, lift the forehead, bring that left arm underneath the right, gently resting the left temple to the mat. Giving you a moment here to stretch out that left shoulder. The back of the left shoulder, gently shift those hips back a little bit and just notice how that affects the stretch. And then gently release the arm, extend that left arm forward, come back and reach those hips towards the heels. All right, so from here, let's walk the hands towards the knees, shift the knees to hip distance apart, and come back to table. From here, let's curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, hover just for a moment, and then shift into down dog. Nice deep breath in, gently walk your dog. Gazing between the legs, between the ankles. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, bring the knees all the way down. Uncurl the toes, shift the hips back into a brief child's pose without going all the way down. And then walk the hands back towards your knees. Inhale, arms come up. Hips are resting on the heels. Exhale, float the arms down. Let's inhale that right arm up and over the right ear. Reach. Ooh, a nice snap, crackle, pop on the side body. Stretching through the fingertips. Nice deep breath in. Switch sides. Left hand over the left ear. Inhale. Float that left arm up. Come down, reach back. So you're reaching those arms back, palms facing each other. Just opening up the shoulders, the front of the shoulders and the heart. Take the gaze up to the sky. If you want to here, you can take a bind and interlace those hands so you can bring those shoulders further back. Taking the heart up and forward. Little back bend here, and then from here, gently hinging at the hips. Maybe those arms lift off the back. If not, they can just stretch back, and you don't have to bring your forehead all the way down. You just rest the torso on the lap. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring those shoulders back. Lift all the way back up. Release the bind. Inhale, arms come back up. Press the palms together. Exhale, bring them down to heart. Inhale, allow the palms to rise again. Look up at the palms. Let's reach back and exhale. Release the hands. Float them by your side. Inhale, that right arm up and over the right ear. Exhale, lower down. That right arm, float that left arm up. Exhale, float that left arm down. Then inhale, both arms up. Look up at the palms, and then from here, gently float the arms down in front of you. Swing the arms back. Open up the heart. Let those palms face each other, and then again, interlacing the fingers if that's what you feel like doing, or just staying right where you are, opening up the heart. If you've interlaced the fingers, pull those shoulders back, take the gaze up to the sky, pull the navel in. Nice deep breath in, and again, we hinge forward, taking a brief bow with the breath. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Take the gaze to the sky, release the bind, arms come back up, gaze comes back to center. From here, float the arms down, come back to your tabletop, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Again, walking the dog. Breathing nice and deep, maybe releasing it through the mouth. Allow the heart to press towards the thighs. Bring those shoulders into their sockets. Allow those shoulder blades to spread nice over the shoulders. Inhale, heels come up, bend the knees, take the gaze between the hands, and we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands and come to a forward fold. Nice deep breath in, exhale, folding in. If it feels good to take a bind behind your legs, you can do that, or you can ragdoll. All up to you. Whatever it is you're feeling today, allow the arms to dangle. And then inhale, hands come to the shins, and then allow the hands to come down to the mat. Step back with both feet. You can plank here or modify plank. All right, from here, let's shift back, extend to a child's pose, breathe child's pose, and then inhale, arms come back up, all the way up, lift the hips up, and then palms touch, and palms come to heart. Oops, snap, crackle, pop. All right, let's release the hands. Inhale, that right arm up and over. Exhale, left arm up and over. Float that left arm down. Inhale, both arms up. Really feeling the shoulders here as we float the arms down, reach back. Interlace the fingers. Shoulders back, take the gaze up to the sky. Again, you don't have to interlace the fingers. Let's take a bow. You can be reaching back just so. Inhale, come all the way back up. Take a gaze up. Pull those wrists down towards the earth to open up the front of the chest. Release the bind. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, float the arms down. Come back to your table. And let's stack the shoulders over the wrists. And from here, curl the toes under. Come back to your down dog. Nice deep breathing. And then lift the heels, bend the knees deep, take a nice hover. So you can bring the knees as low or as high as you want in this hover. Pull the navel in. Tuck the elbows. So just make sure that the inner elbows are facing each other as you hover. And then lower all the way down. All right, so from here, let's extend that right leg out. Shift the hips back. Take a nice abductor stretch. Couple breaths. And then inhale. Come back to your table. Bring that leg back to your tabletop. And then extend that right leg again. Lift it off the floor. So you're extending long. And option here, like you can do all of this with the toes curled or the feet flat, up to you. I'm keeping them curled. So let's point those toes to the floor. Square the hips to the mat. Pull the navel in. And take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, reach out with that left arm. All right, so we're going to take a quad stretch here. Flip that left palm, reach back and reach for that right ankle. Press or kick your ankle into your hand. Really press through that right palm to stabilize and pull your navel in and release. Extend again, opposite directions with that left arm extended, right leg extended, and then bring everything back. All right, let's extend that left leg out laterally, parallel the foot to the mat, and then from here, gently pressing those hips towards your heel. And you can extend the arms forward to get into the stretch a little more, or you can push the hips into the heel. So it all depends on what you want to feel. But you'll definitely feel it in here, right in the inner thigh. Nice deep breaths. Allowing that tightness to release. All right, next breath. Let's gently lift ourselves up back to table. Gently bring that leg back. Let's extend it back. Toes point down. Square the hips. Inhale, right arm extends forward. Nice deep breath. Pull the navel in. So I'm using Ujjayi breath here as a little constriction of the throat as I'm breathing. So if you hear me breathing, that's why. All right, it's a wonderful breath to practice. Take a nice deep breath, flip that palm, reach back for that left ankle, gently kick that left leg into your hand, press through that left palm. You can even take the gaze forward. Pull the navel in. Nice deep breath and exhale, release. Extend everything long, right arm long, left leg long, and come all the way back to your table. All right, let's do some hip circles. Now loosen up the hips. Going around and around. And then opposite direction. And then from here, let's curl those toes under, lift the hips high, come to your down dog. And then let's walk the hands, this time to meet the feet at the back of the mat, forward fold. Releasing the shoulders, maybe taking a sway. And then come to center, inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. And let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. Really tone those legs, pull those quads up. Really a nice stable mountain pose here as you ground in from the ground up. All right, let's inhale, palms up. Let's reach back and press the hips forward. Then we're gently going to come back to center, separate the arms, and sit in our chair. Tuck the tail, pull the navel in, lift the chest, and sit a little lower. Palms together, palms to heart, forward fold. Bend one knee after the other. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch and palms come to heart. Inhale, palms rise again. Interlace the fingers. This time reach up towards the sky. Press the hips forward. Let that index finger reach back. And then bend the knees deep. We're gently going to forward fold again. So we're just lengthening and creating some movement with the spine. Release the hands. So release the bind and then come back and do the bind. Ground those feet in, come all the way back up. Biceps parallel to the ears, nice and long through the fingertips. Separate the arms and sit in your chair. Tuck the tail. Shift the weight to the heels, sit a little lower. Pull the navel in and breathe. Stay nice and focused. Ground those toes. Steady breath. Hands come together and to heart. Let's forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Coming to your half lift and root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch and palms come to heart. All right, let's shift the weight to one side, that left side, and lift that right leg up. High knee, strong standing leg. Let's step forward. Shift the weight to that right leg. Shift forward. And then lift that left knee high. Relax the foot. Then we step forward and take a gentle step forward to shift the weight. Strong standing leg here as we lift that back leg. Right leg lifts. And we go into a staff pose. Lengthen that leg. You can keep your hands at your heart. You can extend your arms forward, or you can take flight and reach back. And then from here, gently bring the hands to the mat. Bring bring the forehead towards the knee, extend that back leg long, and then come to a forward fold. Back leg meets the front. Take that forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift, and then exhale, plant those palms, step back with both feet, plank or modified plank. Let's step into down dog, pressing the heart towards the thighs. And then from here, let's walk the hands back to our feet, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to your half lift, shoulders away from the ears, pulling the navel in. Take a nice deep breath in and root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch and palms come to heart. Okay, we're going to do the other side. Let's shift the weight to the left leg, strong standing leg. I think I'm doing the right side. No, I'm not. All right, and it did feel like that. All right, shift the weight to the right leg. And lift that left leg high, knee high. That's what you gotta love about live TV, right? All right, it's all good. Step forward. Shift the weight. And right knee lifts. Flex the foot. Strong standing leg. Shift forward. Bring that right foot down and take your warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3, lifting, beginning to hinge. Lift that left leg high, extend it back, pull the navel in, stay nice and strong. Again, you can reach forward or reach back. Bringing the hands back to heart. Release the hands, come all the way down to the mat, lift that leg. And then from here, that back leg comes to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to your half lift. Exhale, plant those palms. Step back with both feet. Inhale, shift the heels to the right, side plank. Left arm rises. And you can support this plank by bringing that right knee down. Lift those hips high. Take the gaze up to the sky or the palm. Inhale, follow the palm all the way down. Come back to your plank. And come back to, let's come back to the floor to do cobra. All right, hands underneath the shoulders, chin to the mat. All 10 toes press in, press the pubis into the mat. Inhale, chest high, tuck the elbows, chin parallel to the floor, and lower down. All right, let's take that next breath in. Inhale, press all 10 toes in, release the buttocks, pubis into the mat. Lift the chest, shoulders back, tuck the elbows, and come all the way down. Tuck the toes. Come to a modified plank or full plank. Shift the heels to the left. Inhale that right arm up. Lift those hips high. Deep breath, follow the palm. As you exhale, coming back to your plank or modified plank. Inhale, come all the way down. Cobra pose. Let's touch all 10 toes into the mat. Tuck the elbows, lift the chest. Press the pubis into the mat and take the heart forward, shoulders back. Inhale, nice and deep, maybe lifting a little more, and then exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes under, lifting all the way up to plank or modified plank. Shift to downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Then inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, drop the knees to the mat. Shifting back into a child's pose. All right, walking the hands towards the knees, shifting the hips to one side and swinging your legs around. Shift your bottom towards the middle of the mat or towards the bottom of the mat. And then let's come down to our backs and bring the knees in to the chest and rock up and down. Massage the back. We just did a lot with the back. And then sit up, bring the feet flat. And let's bring the soles of the feet to touch for in butterfly position or cobbler pose. You can take the bind around the feet. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen through the crown, shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breath in and then hinge on the exhale. Take a moment here just to notice what you're feeling or anything that's coming up. Or maybe you want to revisit your intention for a moment. Gently come all the way back up, flutter the legs. And then let's release, bring the knees together, extend the legs in front of you. Little shake of the legs on the mat. And let's take a twist. Let's take that right leg over the left. And let's take that left arm, inhale that left arm up, and you're going to take that elbow or you'll hug it. So up to you. So you can hug the knee in and take the twist, or you can bring that elbow in front, support your twist with that left arm behind you, supporting your lower back. And then you can take that twist all the way, gazing over the shoulder, over the right shoulder. So lots of options with this twist. Let's unwind. You can even bend, go into a full twist with the legs, both legs bent. But we did it with one leg extended. So we're going to do the right leg extends, left leg over the right. Let's bring that left hand behind you to support your lower back and inhale that right arm up. Bring that elbow in front of the knee or give it a hug, up to you, and take the twist. Then flex the feet. Take the gaze over the shoulder, pull the navel in, and unwind. Release the arms, release the leg, and then gently bring the arms up in front of you. We're going to come all the way down to our backs again. This time, mindfully as we pull the navel in, and then lean back, come all the way down. And if you look like you're not going to land on the mat, just scoot the bottom forward, and begin again. Begin to descend. Pull the navel in. Take it nice and slow. Go all the way down. I know, slowing you down. But you can drop down all the way. Head comes down last. Take the knees to the chest and squeeze it. A little rock side to side. Tuck the chin. Just to align the neck and the spine. Extend the legs. Extend the arms over the head. Full body stretch. Walk the hands to the right side and walk the feet to the same side to the right side to make a nice crescent shape with the body. Then walk back to center. Walk the feet and the arms all the way over to the right. To the left. To the left side, we already did the right. If you're watching, that's what really makes it like you're in here with us. You're actually here with me. All right, so let's walk back. And I do miss my in-studio friends. When are you coming back? Inhale, extend long. I want to see some RSVPs come in, making some time for self-care. So we're reaching, full body stretch. Take that right knee to chest. Flex both feet. Shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the chin. Then guide that knee to the right shoulder. And then let's guide that knee across the body to the left side and extend that right arm long. Take the gaze over to the right fingertips. Switching sides. Bringing back that right leg. Give it a nice squeeze again. Release, full body stretch, extending the legs and the arms over the head. And then reach for that left knee to chest. Flex both feet. Nice tight squeeze. If the chin's popped up, tuck in. Getting into our twist, let's guide that knee across the body, extend that left arm out, take the gaze to the left fingertips. And then let's release. Come back to our backs, extend the legs long, arms over the head for another full body stretch. And then let's gently go into our happy baby. So let's reach for the outsides of the feet, or you can reach for the outsides of the legs. You can take the hands to the knees. It really just depends on your reach. Hands to the outsides of the feet, or peace, finger your toes. And take a rock side to side. Release the feet. Take the feet to the sky. Lower the arms by your side. And allow yourself to just gently relax the legs as they rise to the sky. You can rock side to side gently. Let's bend the knees, hands on the knees, and knee circles. Massaging the lower back. And then take it the opposite direction. And then release the hands, keep the knees bent. And then from here, we're going to bring some gentle movement to the ankles by rotating the ankles. And then let's take the knees back into chest. And then we're going to gently, let's bring our arms to a T. And we're going to take the knees to the right side. Pull the navel in. And then inhale, we're going to bring the knees back to center. And then we're going to drop them all the way over to the left side. Then inhale, knees come up to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the right side. We're using our core here. Inhale, knees come back to center. They drop over to the left side. Come all the way back to the center. And then we're going to do that again. One last time, drop to the right. Getting a nice deep breath. Exhale, coming back to center and dropping them all the way over to the left. Inhale, bring them back to center. Release the legs, bring the feet down to the mat. And then you can keep your arms in the T and gently windshield wiper your knees back and forth. arms by your side. Going into a bridge movement. We're going to take our bridge position. The fingertips are going to graze our heels. Heels are going to come as close to the buttocks as possible. And then place the palms on the ground just to gently press the hips up just a few inches off the mat. Pulling the navel in. And then inhale, lift the hips high. Arms are going to come over the head. And then exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Palms face down. Bring the hips all the way down. And then inhale, lift the hips just a few inches off the mat. Then take the arms over the head, nice deep breath in. Lift the hips higher, chest moves towards the chin. And then lower everything down. Palms nice and grounded into the mat. Inhale, lift just a few inches off of the mat, grounding the feet. Continue the breath. Raise the arms up over the head. Lift the hips high, chest to chin. And then exhale, lower everything down. Arms come down. Hips come down. And then bring the knees to the chest. Circle the knees. Both directions, small circles. And then lower those legs down again. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Take the feet to the width of the mat and then allow the knees to fall in. Again, you can leave your hands in a T or you can have them by your side. And then we're going to shift the knees to the right, keeping the width of the mat, and then shift the knees to the left. And then we're going to drop them over to the right. Just allow the knees to fall right. And then gently shift back to center. And then let the knees fall to the left. Knees come back to center. Bring your hands behind your head. Interlace the fingers. Allow the elbows to fall open. Feet are still at the width of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in, gently lifting the head off the mat, supported by your hands. And then lowering back down. Inhale, lift high. Shoulders come off the mat, then come all the way down. One more, lifting the head. Shoulders come off the mat and then gently lowering down. Let's release the arms, bring them by your side, heel toe the feet back to hip distance apart, and then take that right ankle to the left thigh. Flex the foot. And then we're going to take our hands and weave them underneath. Like bring the right arm in between the legs, and then the left arm is going to come around and the hands are going to interlace underneath that left thigh. Flex both feet and gently pull towards you. You can press that right elbow into the right thigh if you really want to get into the stretch a little bit more. So going into supine pigeon. Tuck the chin. And release. Switch sides. Left ankle to the top of the right knee. Weave the hands underneath the right thigh. Interlace the fingers. Pull that thigh towards you. Flex both feet. So it's easy to hold your breath here, but continue to allow the breath to ebb and flow. Let's release the hands, release the legs. Extend the legs long, arms over the head for one more full body stretch. And then gently lower the arms by your side. So option here for Shavasana, a few options. You can bring the legs up to take your Shavasana this way, or you can take your legs into butterfly position, bringing the soles of the feet together to take your Shavasana. Or you can extend your legs long, allow the legs to relax, feeling the support from the earth underneath your entire body, letting the hips feel heavy. Any last movements you want to make to adjust yourself so you can come into your stillness. Maybe tucking the shoulders underneath the body. Allowing the jaw to release, the tongue to relax in the mouth, maybe moistening your lips. Just to allow the relaxation of the jaw, allow the eyes to sink, the brows to relax. Allowing the body to absorb all of the benefits of the movement we just did together. Restoring, repairing, allowing yourself to receive at this moment. Allowing the eyes to sink. Body to relax. Stay right there in your Shavasana for as long as you like. I'm going to begin to shift myself and then cue you out of your Shavasana, so stay right there. Let's begin to bring awareness back into the body by wiggling the toes and the fingers, allowing some subtle movement in, gentle maybe movement back and forth, stretching, and then inviting you to roll over to one side, cradling your head, bending your knees in a little fetal position. And when you're ready, pressing yourself back up to seated, joining me with our hands at the heart center to seal our class today. Join me with prayer hands at our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts and tap into our intuition. In front of our lips is a reminder to speak kind words. And in front of our hearts is a reminder to live life full of love, joy, courage, and lots of grace, remembering to follow your heart where your intuition lies. Taking a deep bow to you. Thank you so much for letting me guide your practice